Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to this year's Hall of Fame breakfast. My name's Larissa Thurston, and I'm the CEO and president at St. Mary's Credit Union, and I have the distinguished honor of also being the chair of the board of directors for the Boys and Girls Club of Metrowest. It's an honor to be here this morning in the company of so many individuals who have dedicated their lives to supporting our community's youth. Since its inception in 2014, 8 individuals have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and today 4 more join this distinguished honor. Before turning it over to the award ceremony, I'd like to recognize the elected officials in the room. Senator Jamie Eldridge, I don't know where Jamie is. There he is. Welcome. Marlborough City Councilors Sean Navin and Christian Dumas. Framingham City Councilor Adam Steiner. Big crowd today. On behalf of the entire board of directors, I'd like to thank everyone for being here this morning. It's an honor to be surrounded by so many people who are dedicated to the same mission. Today, we can create a safe and nurturing environment where our youth can thrive. The Ron Young Memorial Award is given each year to one individual who has built a legacy of greatness based on a lifetime of dedication to our community's youth. At this time, I'd like to invite Jess Masterson to the podium to introduce this year's Ron Young Memorial Award winner.
Good morning. My name is Jess Masterson, and I have the honor of introducing the 2023 Ron Young Memorial Award recipient to my mom, Barbara Masterson, or as my friends like to call her, Babs. Barbara first joined the movement in 1985 as a preschool teacher for the Happy Hours Preschool. In 1988, she was promoted to preschool director, a position she's held ever since. Over the years, my mom has impacted the lives of thousands of youth. She continues to work hard to make this program the best in the city. In 2007, Barbara obtained national accreditation. This voluntary accreditation was a long, multi-step, challenging process. Because of Barbara, Happy Hours Preschool was the first early childhood program in Marlborough to achieve this accreditation and was recognized as a high-quality early childhood program. For more than 20 years, Barbara has led a skilled team of teachers, including Peggy Clark, Paula Roscoe, and Barbara Cooper. Today, she still works with Barbara Cooper, and has brought on 2 newer teachers, Leah Tizano and Christina Holman. Happy Hours Preschool is different from every other early childhood program, and that is because of my mom, Barbara. She puts the children first always. In March 2020, the Boys and Girls Club and all of its programs were trying to figure out what was next. During this time, Barbara and her teams recorded videos and prepared activities for the preschoolers while they were at home. It is because of her dedication and determination that the Happy Hours Preschool survived the pandemic and remains open today. In the Masterson family, Happy Hours Preschool is part of who we are. Both me and my brother Sam attended the program. Our cousins Sean and Jacob attended, and our favorite by far was her grandson, Logan. But we all know you're not supposed to have favorites, right? My mom loves her job, loves the preschool and the Boys and Girls Club, and is beyond dedicated to her students. There's no one better than my mom, Barbara, to receive the 2nd annual Ron Young Memorial Award. Congratulations, Mom.
Keep it in the family.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, gosh. Thank you, Jessie, for that introduction. That was very sweet. Unlike Patty Mealy, I did not memorize my speech, so I have it right here. Sorry, Patty. But good morning, everybody. Let me put this up a little. I'd like to thank the board members and Chris Dwayne, our president, and Laura Tizigny, wherever she is. Oh, way back in the room, that's where she always is. and also our co-workers that are here today. And a special welcome to the preschool teachers sitting right here with my family. How appropriate. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. In fact, my little grandson Logan is here, and he has a field trip to get to at 9 a.m., honey, so I'll make this short and sweet. And besides, Chris told me, Barbara, you have 3 minutes. That's it. She did. When Chris and Laura first came to me and told me that I was nominated and chosen for the Ron Young Memorial Award, my first thought was that it was an honor to accept this in Ron's name. And my second thought was that I would be forever in my good friend Patty Mealy's company. She was the first recipient last year to receive this. Ron was our president and leader for 10 years, and it was a sad day when he did leave us. To most people in the club, I'm known as Miss Barbara, but to Ron, I don't know why, I was just Masterson. Whenever he needed something, it was, Masterson will have it. I'll go find it with Masterson. Now when I hear Masterson, it's usually that one over there yelling, Masterson! Chris looking for me for something. I don't know what I did. But there's some things that Ron and I had in common. And one thing was we shared the wall between the preschool and his office. And Ron every day would hear laughter, singing, crying, lots of noise all the time. And there was never any complaints, never. It was so nice of him because you have no idea what noises come out of that place. But the only complaint I ever heard was when our little bunny would hop out of that preschool and hop right into his office, where God knows why he had a stash of food on the floor all the time. And the bunny got into it. So I would hear occasionally, your damn bunny came in my office and ate my food. But seriously, folks, we shared the love for what we do and the belief that the Boys and Girls Club is really important to our community, that we here all try and do our best to make a difference in the children's and families' lives. And Ron connected people. That's what he did. He brought so many folks and funds into our club. And I wanted to just take a moment and, as an example, tell you how this was. Like Paul Connor, is he here today?
No, he couldn't make it.
Oh, he couldn't, okay. Well, Paul was on our board, and then he became president of our board. And then his wife, Philomena, became president of our parents committee. All his children attended Happy Hours Preschool, and to this day, he still remains important with the board. And then there's Pam and John Narahara. They're here tonight. Their son came to our preschool. Their son became a club kid. He then became a summer camp counselor, and the relationships just go on and on. It's so nice. And Pam, to this day, is on our Board of Governors. So thank you for supporting us, Pam and John. And thank you to Paul and everybody else who supports us. In a world where everyone seems so disconnected, we try and stay connected. Our club directors, Steve and Tammy and Mike, they're so good with each other. They share everything. They help and support one another. That's what we really do. Amanda is new to our club, and she was just saying that to me. This is like a family. I'm so glad I'm here. And I said, Amanda, every time you walk out of the room, Laura says, I love you. She fits right in with us. And I just wanted to take just one more minute, Chris. I wanted to say thank you to my teachers who are sitting right here, Miss Barbara and Miss Leah and Miss Christina. You guys are the best. And you guys are the reason why I can do my job. Really, it's not just words, it's truly heartfelt. And my family who's sitting with them, you guys are my rock. So thank you so much for always being there for me. And I just want to leave you with one thought. When I'm older and grayer, and I have to look back on my life and say, what was my life's meaning all about? The first thing is always going to be my husband, Jimmy. I was meant to be your wife, Jimmy. You've always had my back, honey, day in and day out. And this job takes a lot, so thank you for always being there for me. And to be a mom to Jesse and Sam, right there, you guys are wonderful. And to be a mem to my Logie, you're my heart, honey, you. And also to be part of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metrowest and be a teacher at Happy Hours Preschool. You don't know how much it means to me. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, how do you follow something like that? Congratulations, and just so you know, I think that was exactly 3 minutes. Perfect. Listen, here's another thing I know, that the littlest members of the club are just so fortunate to have somebody like Barbara, aren't they? So one last round. So good morning, everybody. I'm Bob Borick. I am a member of the board of directors here at the Boys and Girls Club. I have the unique honor this morning of introducing our next speaker. As a new member of the board of directors, I've learned so much about the history of the Boys and Girls Club of Metrowest and the ongoing importance of having a safe space for the community's youth. This is accomplished through care, connection, dedication of so many individuals every single day who pour their hearts into this. And it is my honor today to invite up Libby Giannetti to the podium to introduce our first Hall of Fame inductee, his mom, Addie, who played a significant role in providing a safe space for our community's young girls. And it's an honor to have Libby with us here today. So Libby, could you please come up and join us?
Oh, gosh. Thank you very much. It seems like old home week here. As I look around the room, it looks like I stretched quite a ways back to the Boys Club in Marlborough. I'm talking about Marlborough now. It wasn't mixed. And I was a member of the Boys Club in 1948, 49, when it was on Mechanic Street. And was a member for 2 or 3 years, and also helped the Boys Club move from Mechanic Street down to the old modern theater, which closed. So the Boys Club moved there for a number of years before it moved up to the old Mitchell School. And that was a Boys Club. And in those days, that goes back a few years. And I get a smile on my face when people say, Boys Club, where was the Girls Club? Girls Club? What's a Girls Club? 47, 48, 49, the girls were expected to do other things, you know. And so I'm glad I'm here this morning to welcome Delma to this event and the award. So I have the honor of and privilege of introducing the first Hall of Fame inductee, Delma Josephson. Delma's interest in a safe place for girls to go began in 1964 after having belonged to the former Worcester Girls Club as a child and wanting a similar opportunity here in Marlborough for her daughters. Delma believed there was a strong need for a girls' club and went to the Boys Club director in those days, D. Joseph Hannigan. Everybody, you know, Marlborough only had 14,000 people. Everybody knew one another. Joe Hannigan was very, very well known for advice and how to proceed in this venture. And he suggested that she find someone to work with her and to start the movement. Delma's good friend, I think you know this person, Mary Lou Gaynor Vanzini, worked alongside Delma to create and develop the original Marlborough Girls Club. Within the first year, more than 1,200 girls had applied for membership. In 1974, Delma helped to secure funding to create the Girls Club on Wheels, which brought programming to local parks and neighborhoods. Over the years, satellite programs were started at schools, A summer camp was established, and a happy hour preschool was established. Delma's dedication to youth has spread far outside the city limits of Marlborough. For 2 years, Delma served as the chairperson of the former Girls Clubs of America National Board of Directors. After pursuing her bachelor's degree and master's degree, Delma served as a teacher and administrator throughout the state of Massachusetts. In 2008, Delma graduated from Boston College with a PhD in school administration to serve even more youth. It's an honor to be here today as Delma, longtime friend of mine and a former husband, Eddie, and on behalf of my mother, Addie Giannetti, to welcome Delma to the stage as she is inducted into the Boys and Girls Club of Metrowest Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Delma, for your tireless concern and effort on behalf of the young girls of Marlborough at that time and continuing. Thank you very much. Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. Well, I guess it goes. So, Delma, here is your plaque. Okay. You gonna say a few words? Yeah. We gotta go back about 70 years together, you know. So it's, she's not a newbie.
He's right. I'm not a newbie. Now, Libby and his family have been dear, dear friends for my late husband and I for many, many, many years. You know, so I'm really grateful. And I also want to congratulate this morning all of the honorees, their families and their friends who are here to celebrate with them. John Petrin and I worked together in the town of Harvard, so it's really, really special to be doing this with him this morning. So I thank you to the board and to all of those who were involved in doing this type of program, because I think it's wonderful to honor what went before us. In the 1960s, Mary Lou Vanzini and I were really young mothers, and we did believe very, very strongly that the city needed an organization for girls very similar to what was being offered for the boys. We enthusiastically believed that didn't work on paper, by the way, was possible, but it was a stretch. So we used some of our grocery money. We didn't have a lot of that for postage, and we passed a hat at an organizational meeting to raise what was then for us a whopping $25 for induction, for incorporation. From the outset, there has been a strong connection with what was the Girls Club to the Marlborough Boys Club. Libby spoke about Joe Hannigan, who was indeed our mentor. Prior to moving to Pleasant Street building, we were in the rooms that Libby talked about on Mechanic Street that had once been Boys Club. The help that we received from local organizations, community members, and the wonderful, wonderful volunteers was critical to our success. We ran with volunteers for many, many years, but none was a greater supporter than Addie Giannetti. I believe that, in fact, Addie probably put in more hours than either Mary Lou or I. Not only did she serve as a president in different board positions, God bless her, she did bingo. She ran bingo week after week, year after year. And yes, you never said no to Addie, so I did bingo. I have to confess, I hated bingo. I always said if I got rich, we wouldn't be doing bingo anymore. I'm very proud of what, with the help of many, many volunteers, staff, and community members, we were able to begin and grow. We engaged family and friends to the efforts. My uncle Jim Daly, who was instrumental in starting United Way in the city, became a board member and after my tenure, and he was, in fact, greatly responsible for repairing the building after the fire. I'm very grateful to my family, love them dearly. My 3 daughters, I gained one just now. My 2 daughters, my son, my brother John, and my Aunt Carol just are all very, very dear to me. And people didn't say no. And Barbara talked about kids coming up through the years, and Christine even taught. So if we needed artwork, Michael did it. We needed help with anything, Karen did it. So it was great. Girls Club in Marlborough was different because we were actually the first organization to go year-round as a building-based organization. And during one of our fundraising adventures going door to door, I remember a woman saying to me, "I will donate to you," and this was our first year, "if you go full-time for the year so that kids have a place to go in the summer." So we did. There were so many things that we did. Yes, happy hours, then nursery school, started at the Marlborough Girls Club under the direction of Holly Walcott. We offered many traditional programmings, but we also offered non-traditional programs. So yes, you had the babysitting certification class, but we also had bicycle repair. So we wanted to make sure that we were meeting the varied interests and needs and abilities of our young members. And I'm happy to say, over the years we did. We even offered to have counseling and parenting programs. So it was very innovative, and that's what was important to us at the time, to keep moving forward. What I want to say about the past, we did a great deal, but we never ever did it alone. But what was also important is that we wanted what was best for the city. We became Girls Inc., and the merger with Boys and Girls Club was the right thing to do. It was absolutely the right thing. Today, the Boys and Girls Club of Metrowest, it's a long name, offers innovative programming in a safe, welcoming environment to our youth. I've seen and learned that they are staffed by very capable and caring professionals who have the best interests of our children as their mission. I am pleased to know that the current and future youth of Marlborough have in this organization people who care deeply and who will continue to advocate for our youth. So this morning I say thank you to the directors, I say thank you to all of you, and I am grateful for this special honor. So thank you so much.
I also am reading this morning. Congratulations, Delma. I do want to mention that years ago, my son, as a 3-year-old, loved the gym program at Girls Inc., and I'm really grateful for all your dedication. Good morning. I'm Rosemary Corley, a member of the board, and I'm honored to introduce the next Hall of Fame inductee, John Petrin. John has been a leader in school and city administrations throughout his career. Moving from town to town, don't know why, perfecting policy, staffing, and financial leadership. He first became involved with the Boys and Girls Clubs in 1995, joining the club's 50th anniversary committee. He was hooked. In 1996, he joined the board of directors and has served as a treasurer for 3 years and a vice chair for 1. And he played a significant role in enabling the merger of the Marlborough Boys Club and Girls Inc. by coordinating the sale of the former Girls Inc. building. This is where he gets to the real work. Since 2004, he has served as the club's chair of the operations committee, working to improve programming for our kids in safe and welcoming sites. Both of those are really important. You want quality programs, you want quality facilities. That's John shines. In 2010, he deservedly received the Michael C. Sullivan Memorial Award in honor of all his dedication and commitment to the clubs. Now, John, all these good works have been accomplished through your unique combination of direct personality and keen management abilities. Key to your leadership is your ability to balance financial realities with high hopes for the very best for our youth. You are blunt, but you cut through the fog of problem solving. You sometimes allow yourself to come across as the bad guy, asking the tough questions, and you root out possible stumbling blocks. You are persistent, seemingly unflappable, and steady at the wheel. It's an honor to welcome you, John Petrin, a man with a heart for kids, a friend of mine, and from someone who I have learned to demonstrate how much we value the important work of all the staff and to create opportunities for all of our community's children, building their futures, but always keeping in mind, most importantly, securing their present. Please join me in welcoming John to the Boys and Girls Club of Metrowest Hall of Fame. Congratulations, John.
Thank you. I'll keep this short and within the time frame allotted to me. The last thing I want is to give Dwayne the satisfaction and enjoyment of removing me from the dais. First, thanks to my partner in crime, Rosemary, for the introduction. We have worked together for many years, and I've always appreciated her viewpoint and calm demeanor, opposite of mine. It certainly is an honor to be added to a group that includes people such as Ron Young, Pat Pazanese, Rosemary, Paul Miner, and others. I want to congratulate my fellow inductees, Delma Josephson, Julie Horrigan, and Brent DeBraga, all who have devoted many years to our young people. I worked with Delma, as she said, for several years, many years. Town of Harvard, got to know her there. And Julie, worked with Julie for several years. She was trying to keep me in line at that time. And Brent was one of those line staff that our members always admired. In particular, I want to offer congratulations to Barbara Masterson. Barbara represents the people we all need to admire and give thanks to. Our frontline staff give their all on a day-to-day basis. These are the true heroes in our organization. We are truly fortunate to have a group of dedicated people who have been with us a long time. I know that I'm always amazed at what they do for our members. Congratulations to Nijay, Lucas, and Nora for their selections as Youth of the Year, and wish Nijay goes forward in the process. I want to thank my family and friends who have joined me today. I want to recognize my mom, Claire, and my wife, Kim. I will say that Kim is the best thing that ever happened to me, and so I thank her for putting up with me for 37 years this month. In closing, I want to thank the Academy for this nomination. I want to thank my fellow board members, many of whom it has been a pleasure to be associated with for a number of years. I want to thank Dwayne for her support for these past 28 years or so. We do know how we each get under each other's skin once in a while, but it does make for good entertainment for Rosemary and others. I also want to thank each of you in this room for your support of our clubs. Each and every one of you are vital to our mission and serving over 3,200 youth in Metrowest. Once again, thank you for this honor.
Good morning. I'm Chris Duane, President and CEO of Boys and Girls Club, Metrowest, and it's rare that it's halfway through the event and I'm just getting up here now. I don't know if I should take that personally or not. So now I have to flip through the script because everyone brought their own to where I'm going. And Rosemary, I am amazed at how well you just put that about John. He is so blunt and to the point. Before I introduce, and I have the pleasure of introducing one of the inductees today, before I do that, I do just want to take a moment to acknowledge that this room is filled with people that are passionate about youth in our communities and that have the influence to create an awful lot of change moving forward. So let's keep that in mind. This room is filled. And today we have, and Larissa already recognized some of those important people, but we have the elected officials that she acknowledged in the beginning that are here. We would have the new CEO for Avidia Bank, Rob Cazzone, but apparently he went to a game last night and didn't get home till late, as the outgoing CEO of Avidia Bank, Mark O'Connell, who is here today, very graciously threw Rob right under the bus immediately. I want to also recognize President and CEO of United Way of Tri-County, Paul Mina, who's also a Hall of Famer and also a mentor of mine for over the years. So Paul's here this morning, awful lot of influence there. And Marlborough Superintendent Mary Murphy, who is here today, and she will say a few words, even though we've had to shift the script a little. But she will be saying a few words this morning. Past Hall of Famers, Mary Lou Vanzini, thank you very much for making it this morning, and also Rosemary Corley, who is right up front. We have numerous club alumni that are in the room today, and they've also been already been recognized, but I do want to mention, because they do not get up this early in the morning, and that would be our club directors who make them create the change today, which is Tammy Pudlow, Steve Zeff, and Mike Rugg. And also, we cannot forget who runs our Marlborough Public School Contract Program Director, who is Heather Prescott, which we conveniently sat next to the Superintendent of Schools, Mary Murphy. So over the years, we've created significant change, and together we can continue to build and make great futures for all of our youth moving forward. And it's an honor to continue living the legacy of so many great individuals that are before us today. And I want to thank you all for being here this morning. My next privilege is to honor our next honoree, which is Julie Horrigan. And Julie is one of those individuals dedicated to creating significant change for the youth in her communities. Boys and Girls Club lifestyle has been embedded in Julie ever since she was very young. Her parents, Paul and Noreen Mina. Noreen, thanks for making it this morning. We'll chat later. Paul, you'll have to stick around till we finish chatting. We're both staff members at the Worcester Boys and Girls Club and leaders of the Boys and Girls Club Camp Hargrove during the summers. And I believe that the Boys and Girls Club brought Paul and Noreen together. And it appears to be a common theme in this family to bring folks together. When Julie was in college, she started working as a staff member at the Framingham Clubhouse while she was attending Framingham State University. Julie was an outstanding role model for our kids, and she was committed to instilling in them that they have options and that the club is there to help them explore and understand those options. During this time, Julie formed strong relationships, including one with her now husband, Michael. We have a policy that there's no dating other staff. Apparently, we missed that policy and missed the memo, Mike and Julie. No matter what, Julie modeled what it meant to be a club kid and a leader. After graduating, Julie pursued a career in fundraising for organizations that served youth, families, and the economic empowerment of women across Massachusetts. Julie considers the 8 years that she led the fundraising efforts at the club as the most impactful and transformational years of her professional career, and I believe that as well. Today, Julie continues to support the club in her professional efforts. As a very, very successful realtor, Julie found the Give Where You Live charitable program, which allows her buyer and seller clients to select a charity for Julie to donate to as the close of all real estate transactions. On a personal note, it was an honor working with Julie alongside Julie. Her innovative thinking and dedication, helping to grow the club's revenue and reputation. She never did and probably never ever will settle for mediocre. She pushed me, she challenged me, and I'd like to think that I'm where I am because of people like Julie. I'm proud to call her my friend. Congratulations.
We're twins, Rosemary, you and I today. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be with you today to be inducted into the Hall of Fame for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metrowest. Congratulations to my fellow inductees, Dalma, John, Brent, and Barbara. As a former club kid, staff member, and executive, this recognition means the world to me. I was nominated to this Hall of Fame by my friend and BGCMW board member, Mara Webster. Our friendship began 17 years ago when we worked at the club in the development office, planning the organization's first ever gala and telling anyone who would listen why they should donate to the club. Her endorsement today means everything to me, so thank you, Mara, I love you. Everything I know about fundraising and about the Boys and Girls Clubs I learned from my parents, Paul and Noreen Mina. I was truly born into the clubs. My parents were staff members at the Worcester Boys and Girls Club, and we lived on the Boys and Girls Club summer camp in Sterling when they ran that club for the first 8 years of my life. My first friends were club kids, so from a young age, I witnessed the positive impact that clubs make on the lives of the kids that they serve. For 8 years, I worked in the development office at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metrowest, and I drew from that real-life experience every time I wrote a grant or every time I asked a donor to support the clubs. And when you work in fundraising, some days are better than others, right? But the truth is that even on our most challenging days, I wasn't discouraged because I never doubted the value of our mission, and I never doubted the impact of our work. Most of you know that my dad, Paul, is a pretty good fundraiser. If I was having a particularly difficult time closing a gift, he would say, "Remember, Julie, people give to people." And those words were like a compass in a storm, always pointing me back to the reason why the hard work is worth it. And that's the kids that rely on these clubs every single day. During my time with the Boys and Girls Club of Metrowest, I had the good fortune of working with some of the finest program and professional staff in this business at the Framingham, Hudson, and Marlborough clubhouses. And many are in this room today. Chris Dwayne, both of the Barbaras, Patty, Mealy, Jarellis, Laura, Tammy, Steve, Jeff, Brent, Maura, Mike. I could keep going and going. Guys, I have so much respect for the time and dedication that you've shown to the Metrowest Club for decades. And I thank you to all the program staff. I thank you for tolerating me for those years as I was parading donors through your program space when you were trying to work with hundreds of kids. I appreciate that. Some of my proudest professional moments included working side by side with our volunteer board members and Resource Development Committee members to achieve our fundraising goals. I'd like to take a moment to recognize 3 individuals and their spouses who acted as important mentors to me during my time leading the development effort. Former DEC executive Ken Vanasek and his wife Gail, who are here today. Former Raytheon executive George Ellis and his wife Angela, and former Fidelity executive Brian Cook and his wife Christine. I called on these folks regularly for almost a decade, and they always stepped up, and they always exceeded my expectations, and for that, I'm very grateful, guys. Thank you very much. And on a personal note, as Chris said, the Boys and Girls Club of Metrowest forever impacted my life back in 2000 when I met my husband, Michael, when we were both working as staff members at the Framingham Clubhouse during our undergraduate degrees. Today, we have 2 awesome kids who are here today, Lindsay and Patrick, who are skipping school this morning to see their mom be inducted to the Hall of Fame. I love you guys, and your behavior has been excellent. Thank you very much. And finally, I'd like to sincerely thank all of the club donors and volunteers who are in the room today. There's a good chance that I've asked you for money on behalf of the club over the last 2 decades, so why should this morning be out of character for me, right? Please continue to support this wonderful organization. Your generosity makes a real and immediate difference in the lives of these local kids. And I thank you very much. Chris, Laura, the entire club team, I love you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Trey DeBraga, and I'm excited to be here as my dad, Brent DeBraga, gets entered into the Boys and Girls Club of Metrowest Hall of Fame. Being a club kid is something that runs in our family. Our dad started attending the Hudson Club in 1983 and became really involved. In 1995, he was nominated as Youth of the Year and became a state finalist. In 1996, our dad started as a staff member in the gym in Hudson, and he remains involved with the clubs today as a basketball referee. Our dad did a lot for the clubs and for our community, but most notably, he built an incredible teen center that served as a place for teens to grow and build their great futures. The club was a special place for all of us. Our dad shares his memories of being in the club and the feelings he still gets knowing he's part of something bigger than himself. He passed down these feelings to us, and we are thankful to be a part of the Boys and Girls Club family. Congratulations, Dad. We are so proud of you.
Thank you. Wow. Good morning. What an honor. Congratulations to my fellow inductees. I'm incredibly honored to be part of your inductee crew. It's a list that is really up there with Boys and Girls Club legends of all time. My experience with the Boys and Girls Club started when I was just 5 years old. My mom had a daycare, and I was kind of a menace. So she was like, "We gotta get you out of here." And so she shipped me down to the Boys and Girls Club, and that particular night there was a karate demo. Not a normal thing that was happening. I went in, the sensei got mad at me, told me to do push-ups on my knuckles. It was terrible. I left in tears. Didn't want to go back. Maybe about a week later, we were at a lumber yard where this guy, Hammy, who used to be a staff member there, was also working. And he saw me, and he remembered me. And he goes, "Hey, I remember you from the other day. Why haven't you been back?" I was just a little guy, tan, my dad. And I go, I didn't want to really say it. And then he was like, "Well, what's going on?" I go, "Well, the karate guy was mean." He goes, excuse my language, don't worry about that a-hole. He doesn't work for us. He'll never be back again. Why don't you try it out again? And my dad was like, "You're going again. Mom's furious with you at the house. You got to get you out of here. I was like, all right, I'll try it again. Within a few days, I fell in love with it. I was going a handful of days a week for the first few years. By 1998, I was a full-time club member, club rat. And I would go every day. Saturdays, we would go in the morning, play some basketball, set up bingo. It was an amazing experience. I got to volunteer helping run bingo, helping set up for bingo, which was not always the most fun thing, but it was something you did with your friends and you felt really proud of your work. Joined Torch Club in Keystone, helped volunteer at the Haunted House and many other projects at the Boys and Girls Club. Incredibly proud of that time I had as a member. I like to thank the hardworking staff that I had. People like Billy Eddy, Hammy, Mike Desitels, Chuck Thibodeau, and Doug Wolf. Those guys really taught me what it was to be a good person. One of the things they instilled in me was doing good for others makes you feel good, and you can be a little selfish in that. Do good because it's going to make you feel good and you spread some joy. They also kept me in line too. I wasn't always the most behaved child, and they really were patient with me and it really guided me through. I was lucky enough in 1995 to win Youth of the Year award, so I clearly came a long way over my time, and they helped get me there. Also started working for the Boys and Girls Clubs in Hudson for a handful of years. Went over to Leominster, helped start that Boys and Girls Club. Maynard shared me, and then I came back to the Boys and Girls Clubs in Marlborough, Metrowest, and spent many years there with some great staff. I was very fortunate enough to be with. Steve's here today, Tammy, Jeff Stupik, and many others were amazing partners to have and really be successful in what we did. And I was really honored to have them around to learn from them as well. Excuse me. Oh, we got a technical difficulty. The BGC has played a vital role in my life. I would say that most people know me as kind of BGC Brent. One goes with the other. About a year and a half ago, I did leave the movement. I'm still with it with basketball refereeing. Now I'm with the Littleton Parks and Rec and Community Education. Really proud to be there and happy to be there, but I do miss the clubs tremendously, and I'm really proud of my basketball reffing with them. It's gonna be a hard part, but the only regret is that my parents weren't here to see it today. I know they'd be really proud of me, and miss you, Mom and Dad. In conclusion, I wanted to thank everybody in the room so much for your efforts and what you do for the Boys and Girls Club. It is an amazing organization. I know a lot of you that are in the board, fundraising, you're not necessarily sometimes in the club seeing the kids, seeing their faces, and how much joy it brings them. I definitely invite you to, come down and see your hard work in action, but I wanted to thank you guys so much for giving me the experience that I had at the club, and I was fortunate enough to be able to give that experience back to the youth. Thank you so much. A little bit better than I thought it was.
Hey, okay. Congratulations, Brent. And he is truly what we have all considered. If you work in the Boys and Girls Club movement, we consider him a club rat, for sure. That is a term of endearment. Because everybody brings their own, I'm trying to follow along and I'm getting lost here. Okay, hold on. Here goes 1 minute. Laura, I'm trying to stay on script. Do you see that? Oh, here we go. Okay. So this morning's event is all about legacies and lasting impact. And while it's special to recognize our past successes, and it's special to recognize, it is most important to recognize our future legacies. And I'd like to invite Mary Murphy, and we've switched it up just a little bit, and it is written in here, Mary. But I'd like to invite Mary Murphy, Superintendent of Marlborough Public Schools, to the stage, and she will be sort of introducing a very special individual.
All right, I have to use the script and not my copy because it's been changed. Thank you, Chris, and congratulations to all who have been recognized today. As superintendent of the Marlborough Public Schools, it is always special to hear that one of our students is being recognized for achieving greatness. This morning, I have the opportunity I would have had the opportunity to introduce Nijay Perkins. Nijay is a graduating senior and off to Lynn University in Florida next year. Nijay has a lot to be proud of. He has achieved greatness, and he credits a lot of that greatness to the Boys and Girls Club of Metro West. But Nijay took the skills that the club taught him and is building the life that he wants. On behalf of the entire school department, and of course the Boys and Girls Club team, we are all very proud of Nijay. Unfortunately, Nijay is not feeling well this morning, and at this time, I'd like to introduce Mara Webster, who will be reading his story. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. It would be much more exciting for you all to hear from Nijay, I guarantee it, but I'm going to do my best to read his remarks directly. Good morning, everyone. I stand before you today to express my deep gratitude to the Boys and Girls Club of Metro West for changing my life in ways that I could never imagine. The club has helped me overcome adversity, find my identity, and mature into the man you see before you. Growing up, I faced lots of adversity and challenges. I moved a lot during my adolescence and struggled with fitting in and making friends for the first few years of my elementary school career. That all changed when I started attending the Boys and Girls Club. The club provided a safe haven for me where I could escape the pressure of trying to make friends in a predominantly Caucasian community. It was a place where I felt welcomed, valued, and supported. The staff and volunteers at the club became like family to me, and I quickly found a sense of belonging that I had never experienced before. Through the club's programs and activities, I discovered my passion for art and started joining after-school programs where I was able to use my creative gifts. I also developed a love for sports and fitness, which helped me stay fit and healthy to this day. The club gave me the opportunity to explore new interests and learn new skills that I never would have had access to otherwise. But perhaps the most important thing that the club gave me was the confidence to believe in myself. The staff and volunteers at the club saw potential in me that I didn't even know existed. They encouraged me to set goals for myself and provided the guidance and support I needed to achieve them. I have overcome the adversity that once held me back and found my identity through the help of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro West. I am grateful for the lessons I learned, the friendships I made, and the memories I will always cherish. And I know that I wouldn't be the person I am today without the support of this incredible organization. I'm gonna cry. I would now like to invite Lucas to the stage to represent the Hudson Club.
Good morning, everybody. Wait, my bad. Sorry, guys. So, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know I was up here, so I'm not going to really use this white paper right here. So, I'd like to thank everybody here for being here. We all really greatly enjoy all your support that you guys have had towards the club. And basically what the club is to me is basically just like my safe space. I love the club. I love everybody that goes to the club. And basically we have something that Mike over there, Mike, can you raise your hand, please? Mike over there, he created our some sort of club fam. That's what we call ourselves. And anytime I need anything, I go to that man right there. He's the one that kind of built this community with me and the Hudson Club. And so basically I started going to Hudson Club when I was about 6 years old. My family came from Brazil, knowing literally nothing of English. My mom had me at I think she was like 17. So she struggled a lot. She had the help of my grandmother. And basically she didn't really know, like, she knew no English, like I said. So I didn't really have any help within like school environment, like homework. If I needed help in homework, like I couldn't go to my mom. Like she didn't know like what was like on my like English homework, or like if I had to like read like a certain book, she didn't know how to read it to me. So I kind of had to like do that myself. But thanks to the club, I was able to go there. There was like the homework room that I would always try avoiding, but Mike would always be like, let's go, you got to go to the homework room. All I wanted to do was play in the gym, but I guess I had to get some homework done. But all I have to say is that, so now I've been working at the club since I was 15. This will be my third year. This summer will be my third year, and I don't even consider it like a job. It's just like my hobby. Like somebody asked me like, oh, where are you going after school? I'm going to Boys and Girls Club. I'm not going to my job. That's just like, it's what I like doing. And I couldn't have asked for any like better high school job. And it's honestly just a great way for me to see the kids growing up from like first grade. And then maybe in a couple of years, I'll be able to see them graduate high school like I am this year. And I just love being there for them and like helping them make the right decisions. Even though I know when I was a little kid, I was the same way. Like Brent said over there, we're both menaces. Like we do what we like to do, but at the end of the day, I try helping them out as much as I can. And basically this year I wrote my college essay on what the Boys and Girls Club is to me and what I am. So I'm not like a staff. I mean, I am a staff technically, but I'm there to provide a safe place for the kids from the hours of 3 to 6. And once that 6 o'clock hits and that kid's grade gets called, I just want to see a smile on their face, and that's all I look forward to. And sorry, this is kind of hard. Basically what I want to say is that the Boys and Girls Club has made me the person I am today, the leader I am today, and it has taught me every little thing that I need in life. And that is, thank you to Boys and Girls Club. Thank you for all of you guys for making it happen. And I hope you guys can continue to do this by helping us and building the futures with the kids we have today. And a special shout out to Mike Rugg. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, he just threw away the script and did that. What am I doing wrong here? Thank you, Lucas. That was outstanding. Okay, each of our 3 clubhouses select one individual to serve as their club's Youth of the Year, and then one is selected to represent the organization at the state level. And earlier this week, Nijay, and hopefully that's not what made him ill, represented Boys and Girls Club of Metrowest at the Gillette Stadium for the statewide Youth of the Year competition, and I had the privilege of having dinner with him down there and his family, and it was a great event. To achieve this title of Youth of the Year on any level, club members must embody the values of leadership and service, academic excellence, and healthy lifestyles, and should exemplify the critical impact that Boys and Girls Clubs have on young people's lives. Lucas said it best. With us this morning, we also have Nora and Lucas, and Nora is representing the Framingham Club. Nora is very involved at the Framingham Club and is also involved with Special Olympics and Best Buddies. One of the most special things about Nora is her desire to help and support the younger members. Nora, can you please come up and join, well, Maura Nijay? Join me up here. She's our Framingham Youth of the Year. And Lucas, who said it best, but let me just add to Lucas, he is a very good staff member, but he's also heading off to college next year, and he's going to Pennsylvania State University. So Lucas, if you can come on in. Yes, right to them. On behalf of the entire board of directors and staff here at the club, we are very proud of all 3 of these individuals, and we're honored to have been part of your journey to greatness and look forward to seeing you in all that you do in the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm looking back at Laura because, just so you know, I was fired from ending any event because I don't end it properly. So, and with that, Laura, the 2023 Hall of Fame breakfast comes to an end. And we are so appreciative of everything and everyone that's taken time to be with us this morning. So I hope that you will continue to join us in our other events. And thank you again for being here this morning. Thank you.